How do you manage and negotiate the time that you have to go make a living, but then the quality time with your daughter?
So with that, been extremely blessed to have good family around. Even though her mom and I are together, we chose to live, not too far from each other. That way, our child will have like an opportunity to spend a lot of time with mom and spend a lot of time with dad. Like, so we kind of split that responsibility, which has been great. Luckily for me, a lot of my gigs are on the weekends. Occasionally they'll be during the week if I'm doing extremely like private event. But for the most part, I get to be home, be around my daughter 3 to 4 days a week. And what I've learned from this journey of like this part of my journey doesn't belong to me. And I tell people that it's like, look, I didn't put out a hit record. I didn't have a hit movie. I don't have a hit television show. This phase of my career happened because of community and being there for people, and it's been extremely important to me on this part of my journey to make sure that I maintain that. And when I say about people, it was also about my family as well, so I find the balance between doing the right gigs, not doing every gig, but doing the right gigs. And then I get right back on the plane and come back home. So example, if I have a show in New York City, I will make sure I leave the morning of, which is very dangerous because anything can happen.
Right? I don't like traveling on game days if I don't have to.
Man, I will leave the morning of 6 a.m. I'll get there, land my show. I'll land at 3 o'clock. Get time to get to the hotel, freshen up, play a set for 2 hours from 8 until 10, and then I'm back on at 6 a.m. and in time to have dinner with my family back at home. So that's how I play it, and that it's important to me. A lot of clients understand that I don't walk away from every gig, but I will walk away from something where I can't have that time with my family.
But that's a different level of maturity too, because you have an older daughter.
Yes.
Okay, so with me, my older son is 31. I'm a much different father, patient-wise and everything else, my goals, to my 6-year-old. But you have a special connection too, because not only she's older, she learns, but she's an attorney and she works with you.
Yeah, she works with me.
So how is that dynamic with your older daughter?
So with my older daughter, this is a great question, Jim. With my older daughter, obviously I was in hip hop during, I won't say during its infancy, but during the early days, what they consider the golden era. And we didn't do financially what most artists are doing now. So what I made back then I wasn't able to sustain that kind of success or even that lifestyle. So with my oldest daughter, I had already lost everything, so I had nothing but time at home trying to figure out life. And, taking her to school. I started making money again and being successful when she was roughly around 4 or 5 years old. I started like a creative services agency. So I was able to then like reset, slowly make money to pay for her education, to pay for her undergrad, send her to law school. And that journey has been great because without the success of my friends and my family, I wouldn't have known to even go out and to do these things that I ended up doing, to even believe in myself. Because, when this stops, people stop clapping.
Yep.
You got to figure out what's next in life. And because the clapping stopped when I was so young, I was like 28, 29, actually, no, I take that back. The clapping started up again when I was 29. The clapping stopped when I was around 22, 23.
So from 16 when you
to
first started
around
with
23
BDP.
with BDP.
Then 23.
Until my second album came out in 91. By the time that run of the second album, which is usually a year, was over, the phone stopped ringing. The money started, I started losing money. I had no residual income coming in, nothing. Plus, we didn't make a lot of money back then. And by 90, I'd say by 94, I was pretty much just broke. And it took me about 5 years to find myself again. And I found myself at a good time when I was able to have that relationship with my daughter. I was able to send her to college. I was able to do all of these things on this journey. And now that she's an attorney, when she graduated, she did work at another law firm. And I just felt like, look, I could have still, I do work with my original attorney, but because I was doing so many gigs from the White House and the Oscars and Super Bowl, I felt like this would be a great time to give my daughter an opportunity to see what it's like with what I'm doing. And then she just ran with it. And we've been working together now for nearly 3 years.
Check out new episodes of The Jim Jackson Show every Thursday. Watch on The Rich Eisen Show YouTube page. Follow the show on Instagram @Jim Jackson Show, or listen wherever you get your podcasts.